His Holiness Bhakti Vinasa Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki. Bhakti Vinasa Narasimha Maharaj, he joined the Krishna consciousness movement in 1971, was initiated by Prabhupada then. In 1994, he accepted sannyas from His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and Maharaj is a international travelling preacher. He preaches in the Philippines, in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Middle East, and Vladivostok, Russia. Maharaj was also, he's a fluent speaker of Mandarin, where he's preaching in Kashadesh, that part of the world. He's an initiating spiritual master in our movement. Shri Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, principles of sannyas, symptoms of the sannyasi, abhayam, shakta shangshuddhi, jnana yoga, vibhashtuti. His Holiness is an emblem of this principle of sannyas being always absorbed in teaching the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Maharaj actually, he admitted, he revealed that his residence is Sridham Mayapur, and he regularly comes and is teaching in the Mayapur Institute, Srila Prabhupada's books, and for that, having a great effect on our movement. And today, Maharaj's topic is connecting to Srila Prabhupada through study of his books. Tridangi Sannyasi Bhakti Vighna Vinasa Narasimha Swami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Atul Krishna Prabhu. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschacha Deshatarine Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Well, nowadays we see the number of Prabhupada's disciples every year, it's less and less, of course. We're all getting very old and health is always not so good. So we have to expect in the future there will be even no Prabhupada disciples, Diksha disciples that is. But on the other hand, every one of us is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya, and he is the preeminent Shiksha Guru for all of the devotees in our society. He is therefore very important for all of us. And we do want to have that relationship and feel that connection with Srila Prabhupada. And we can do it. If you want to have a connection with Prabhupada, he's certainly available. And I see some devotees, they have wonderful relationships with Prabhupada. Although they never met Prabhupada, they never saw Prabhupada, they came to the Krishna consciousness movement after Srila Prabhupada's departure, but they have some, I know some devotees, they have wonderful devotion for Srila Prabhupada. And certainly the relationship with Srila Prabhupada is not only just by going to his Guru Puja every morning and offering flowers and bowing to his Vyasa-san or worshipping his deity, but the real connection to Srila Prabhupada comes through his books. And Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say to the devotees, or when he was asked about who would be in charge of the movement after he's gone, Srila Prabhupada would say something like, I will live forever by my books. So the connection with Srila Prabhupada through his books is very, very primary foundation in our Krishna consciousness movement. And we base our morning program around Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. When it comes to classes, usually in the morning Srimad Bhagavatam, in the evening Bhagavad Gita, we use Srila Prabhupada's books. We like to hear from Srila Prabhupada. It's really very important for us. And Prabhupada, of course, dedicated so much of his time and energy in writing his books. He would wake up, he would take rest maybe about 10 o'clock, and then by 12 o'clock he would be up, and he would start writing. Sometimes we could sit outside his room. We'd get up very early in the morning, and we go and sit outside Prabhupada's room. I remember in Bury Place was in London. Srila Prabhupada was staying there with us. At one point, Keshava was from San Francisco, and he came to London and he saw our temple in London at number 7 Bury Place, and he saw Prabhupada's room, and he saw the facilities which we had in the whole building, and he decided, no, you don't have enough proper facilities for Prabhupada to be staying here. He said, and he wrote to Prabhupada and said to Prabhupada that we will rent you a suite in the hotel next time you come to London, Prabhupada. But Prabhupada replied, I don't want to stay in the hotel. I want to stay in the temple. I like to be with the devotees. So it was very good news for the devotees to hear how much Prabhupada liked to be with us and to live with us, even though we didn't have a lot of facilities. Anyway, the point was that sometimes we'd get up very early in the morning and go and sit outside Prabhupada's room. And Prabhupada's toilet was just outside the room. So he would have to come out of the room to go to use the toilet. So we would sit outside the room there, and Prabhupada would come out, take a break from his writing, come and go to toilet. And if he saw us sitting there, he'd be very happy, he'd smile. And sometimes he would also invite us in to sit in his room while he was writing and dictating. But there was Srila Prabhupada's program to use that particular time in the very early morning. I'm talking like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Prabhupada would be there dictating and writing his books. That was the convenient time for Srila Prabhupada to write, because during the day there was always so many things taking place. There were always so many devotees and visitors, different issues which Srila Prabhupada liked to attend to. And of course he would also have his massage. There would be a massage in the morning, another massage in the evening. But Prabhupada's real meditation was writing his books. He loved to write books. We know he began printing Back to Godhead in 1944. 1944, the first Back to Godheads were printed, and they were very simple, just simply some sheets of paper with some articles which Srila Prabhupada himself had written. And of course, printing things in those days was really laborious. It was really a lot of labor, intense labor. Srila Prabhupada not only would write everything, but then Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Power cuts are something we learn to live with in India. So Srila Prabhupada would be writing there in the very early morning. It was his prime time in the day where he could really absorb himself without disturbances, because generally every day there were so many things to be done. Prabhupada liked to be active. He liked to go for morning walk. He liked to take part in programs. He liked to give classes. He was very active, but his most important work for him was writing. And as I said, he began the Back to Godhead magazine in 1944. And he had written articles. Some of the articles were parts of the Ishopanishad. And later on, they collected the articles from the Back to Godhead, put them together, and made the book, the Sri Ishopanishad. So Srila Prabhupada was writing, doing the newspaper, Back to Godhead, but then someone said to him that, Swamiji, why don't you publish books? Because these newspapers, they'll be thrown away. They'll just be scrap paper after a few days. Better if you write a book, then it will be of permanent value. So Srila Prabhupada took that advice to heart, and he thought that he would like to publish books. But the surprising thing is that he picked the Srimad Bhagavatam to publish. The Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, is so voluminous, 18,000 slokas, 12 cantos. But Srila Prabhupada wanted to publish Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita, there were so many commentaries of Bhagavad Gita in English, so many commentaries were there. Of course, none of them were devotional, but still many commentaries were there. But there was no commentaries available on Srimad Bhagavatam, not in English anyway. So Srila Prabhupada took up that task to write his commentaries on each and every sloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So a very long task, not something which is going to be finished overnight. Srila Prabhupada began writing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and by the time he's going to America in 1965, the first canto had been published, 3 volumes, the first canto. And Srila Prabhupada Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, when he was writing the first canto, he made sure each purport was elaborate, because he wants to put as much as he can, to give as much information, as much knowledge, as much understanding as he can, to put his whole effort into this first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, because he doesn't know, in the future, will I get an opportunity to publish more volumes? It was so difficult. Of course, he got some donations from Srimati Morari Ji from the Scindia Shipping Company, because she was a follower of Vallabhacharya, and Vallabhacharya himself had written also commentary on Bhagavatam, and she was a devotee of Lord Krishna, and she liked Srimad Bhagavatam, and she'd met Prabhupada and she'd respected him, so she had donated. So Srila Prabhupada had 3 volumes published in India, and it was a great labor to publish anything. Prabhupada had to go himself to the printers and check the printing. Nowadays, of course, everything is computerized and you can sit at home and go through the text. But Prabhupada had to go to the printing shop. He had to look at everything and wait and see the prints and check the manuscripts. It was a lot of work. Anyway, somehow Prabhupada managed to print 3 volumes of first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And of course, that's what he took with him when he went to the USA. He arranged to have cartons of the Srimad Bhagavatam loaded onto the Jaladuta, which was the ship which Prabhupada was taking to America. So he was very anxious to see that the books were also loaded there onto the ship. And when Srila Prabhupada was in America, when he began his preaching in 1966, he would take books with him. Whenever he was invited to give a lecture, he would present the books, and sometimes also he would be able to sell a set of the books. While he was in India, he was also trying to distribute the books, and he went to a number of government offices and libraries and so on, and he had received orders from a number of different places to take the full set of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada, even before he had any followers, he was working alone. He was thinking about books. And he had taken this up on the order of his spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada said everything which his guru taught him, he had already learned from his own father, his seminal father. Prabhupada was born in a devotee family, and his father worshipped the deity. His father was a devotional man, and he had Abai learn to play the Madanga, and he gave Abai, of course, deities, and he arranged Rapiyatra and everything. So these things Srila Prabhupada had learned from his own father during his childhood. But he said the one thing which he learned from his spiritual father, from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, that his own seminal father had never taught him, was writing and publishing books. Now, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he considered books very, very important. More so than any temple. Priority was to have nice books. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, in his time, he would put all energies into seeing nice books prepared to present the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And his opinion was that a good book, would be more powerful in convincing someone about Krishna consciousness than simply having a nice temple. having nice temples, okay, brings in a lot of people, a lot of visitors and so on, but to actually get an intelligent person, to get them really interested in Krishna consciousness, you have to have the book. It's the book which really has the impact on the heart of a person. Books are very, very important. As we say in our movement, we say, books are the basis. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he was convinced about this. He was really, he thought that for going out preaching, it's very important to have very nice books. And of course, our own Srila Prabhupada, he liked books, he liked to have colour pictures, illustrations and so on. The book should be nicely done. In the times of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, that opportunity was not available so easily. There was not the same facilities in printing, the technology was not there. So the books were basic. But what was important was the language and the presentation of the philosophy. And one of the books which was important, like when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada sent his disciples first to Europe, he'd sent some of his young sannyasis, he sent them to London and to Germany and so on. They took books with them. That was also important, that they had to have some books, because it takes time to build temples, to establish temples. You need a lot of funds. It takes a look at how much time is taking to build, like our temple of the Vedic planetarium. We can't wait for these things, for our preaching. The preaching has to go on first, and for preaching with the written word is more powerful than the sword. So we try to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. They're very, very valuable for us, that we present Srila Prabhupada's written word, particularly his Srimad Bhagavatam. And we've seen also how Srila Prabhupada's disciples are also contributing to this by writing also their own books, by supplementing many of Srila Prabhupada's books with their own books. And it's very nice for our Krishna consciousness movement. We need to have many books to impress people of the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although Lord Chaitanya himself did not write any books, he encouraged his followers to write. And Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they wrote. Then Jiva Goswami wrote many books. And we see the different followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after the Goswamis, then Baladeva Vidyabhusa and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They wrote many books. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was especially productive, writing beautiful books and with many wonderful poems and songs which we are singing today. We're getting the benefit from today. So Srila Prabhupada, he wanted very much to give us books, and he wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. We have up to the 10th canto. Srila Prabhupada began the 10th canto. Of course, he didn't get so far in the 10th canto, first 13 chapters of 10th canto, and then Krishna took him from us. But he did complete the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that was a wonderful effort. It was certainly a glorious day when Srila Prabhupada completed the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and you can read at the end of the Chaitanya Charitamrita Srila Prabhupada's concluding words, and he describes how happy his Guru Maharaj would be that he has completed this Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is like the jewel, even higher than the Srimad Bhagavatam, is the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which gives all the very deep philosophy of Krishna consciousness. The discussions of Ramananda Rai and other people with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met with the Mayavadis like Prakashananda, Saraswati, and how he introduced Krishna consciousness wherever he went. So the Chaitanya Charitamrita, very important for all of us. And as devotees, we want to spend our time reading these books regularly, not just reading them, not just studying them. Srila Prabhupada wrote to he was the temple president in New York in the 1970s, and Srila Prabhupada wrote to him. It was at the time of initiation, some devotees were being initiated. Prabhupada had sent a letter, and Prabhupada had written in the letter, he said, "Tell the devotees they should cram my purports." He said they should cram my purports. You know, cram something? Cram, just like if you're very cramped, you know, you go on an Indian train or in the Indian bus, you're crammed together, crushed together. So cram my purports. Cram, just like if you have an exam, when we were studying at school, if we hadn't prepared and the next day you have an exam, you have to stay up all night, you have to cram for the exam. You know, you try to do the whole year's work in one night, you cram. So Prabhupada used that word, he said, cram my purports. He wanted us to study these Prabhupada's purports very intensely. And Prabhupada's purports are like his ecstasies as he goes through the scriptures of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Of course, he gave us also the Nectar of Devotion, which is a summary study of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And he gave us also the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which he described. He said, that's a book I have written on my own. And we have also Srila Prabhupada's smaller book like Sri Ishopanishad. Small books generally like Science of Self-Realization and so on. These are books which were published after Prabhupada departed from the world. The editors, the BBT managers, they collected different articles of Srila Prabhupada and compiled them together in books. But Srila Prabhupada's main concern was writing commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. He took a break from the Srimad Bhagavatam to work on the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he also gave us Upadesh Amrita, which is another very important book. Upadesh Amrita was discovered by Bhakti Thakur. It had been written by Rupa Goswami, but nobody even had a copy, nobody had even heard of it. But Bhakti Thakur had gone in Vrindavan and he met one elderly gentleman who had a very nice library. So Bhakti Thakur went to, said, can I have a look at your library? And when he was looking at the man's library, he found Upadesh Amrita, written on palm leaves by Rupa Goswami. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in ecstasy when he found this book. Another book by Rupa Goswami. And he brought it, he wrote a commentary on it. Later on, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada wrote commentaries also on it. And then later on, our own Srila Prabhupada wrote his commentary on Bhakti, on Upadesh Amrita. So very valuable. These literatures had almost been lost. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to labor to find a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was so difficult to get one copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to present these books for the whole world. And he labored himself, having the books translated. He would stay up all night writing and write commentaries and guiding the artists also, the different paintings which appear there in Srila Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada would tell the artists how to paint the pictures, what should be done. He would tell what kind of clothes the people wear, who should have a shaved head, who should have a beard, mustache, these kinds of things. Prabhupada would give all the directions to the artists. Every detail in the book was important for Srila Prabhupada. When the first Krishna book came out, it was so beautiful. Such a beautiful Krishna book. It was big size with a silver cover with the beautiful Radha Krishna picture on the front. So Srila Prabhupada had everything picked about paper, good paper, the nice font, print, it should be clear, it should be easy to read. Srila Prabhupada wanted to make the books perfect. He wanted that we would value these books and that we would read them, and reading these books, studying them, it will change our life. Certainly Prabhupada's books have that effect. Many of us came to Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we ask, how many of you came to Krishna consciousness by Prabhupada's books? Practically every one of us. When we go through it, when we ask people, I know I myself, I got my first contact with Krishna consciousness with Prabhupada's books. And it brought me to go to the temple. I got a book, I bought a Krishna book, I took it home, showed my friend. He said, wow, he said, I've got a book by the same person. And he looked through his book, his library, and he came out with the topmost yoga system. This was 1970. This was, the movement was so new. They didn't even have any books. We had no books. I was living in Calcutta Temple in 1975. We didn't have a Bhagavad Gita. We had one Bhagavad Gita in the whole temple. Oh, it was 1977, because I remember Bhakti Charu Swami was just becoming a devotee, and we wanted to give him a book to read, because we could see he's a very educated young man, he's very interested. We have to give him a book to read. We had one Bhagavad Gita, but I protested. I said, we're using that book. I said, we have it for class. It's the only book for our class every evening. So they said, well, we want to give him a book. I said, well, look, here's the Nectar of Devotion. I said, this is a very nice book. And so we gave that book to him. And afterwards, after he became a devotee, he said, because I got the Nectar of Devotion, it was so wonderful, it was such a beautiful book. He said, I fell in love with it. I knew I had to become a devotee. He said, Bhagavad Gita, they said it's all right, but it's not like the nectar of devotion. The nectar of devotion was just, this was Bhakti Swami, this was his words. It convinced him, he got the book, and it convinced him he had to join the Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada's books, they're so wonderful, they're so powerful. Of course, nowadays we say, oh, everybody's got a mobile phone, you know, we don't read books and people don't read so much. But still, we do, you know, you read the mobile phone. How much can you read on the mobile phone? You can read a minute or two, a few minutes, but you cannot go very deep of them. But just enough, you can get the impact. Then you know, I've got to get the book. Maybe you get some little cutting on your mobile phone. Then you know you have to get the book. It's the book which you need. And the books are there, we've got to make them available, we've got to distribute them everywhere. This is our business as devotees. Wherever we go, take some books with us and try to give out the mercy. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for sharing with us those fascinating stories of your own experiences with Srila Prabhupada and how much importance Srila Prabhupada placed in writing his books. I remember some years ago I was in Bangkok staying with Maharaj. In the morning Maharaj would get up, take breakfast, pay the kitchery and go out all day on book distribution, and this way by his personal example showing us the life of dedication to Srila Prabhupada's books. Thank you very much, Maharaj. We invite Sarada Drik Prabhu to kindly come to the stage. Thank you all for coming today in spite of inclement weather.